What is up, everybody? So we had a ton of fun ripping around this Sodikart, but it is covered in mud and dirt, and it is currently broken and not running. So today we're going to be tearing this thing down. All the plastic needs to come off of it, but first I got the pressure washer out. Let's clean it up, just spray off all this big stuff. Makes it a little easier to work on. Go-kart's back in the garage. A couple things that we absolutely know are wrong with it. That exhaust, the muffler is broken off, the pedals are destroyed, it's got a flat, and the belt's pretty much worn through. But we're gonna start in the back, start ripping off that plastic, rip off this bar, and see what we got back there. So I was trying to find a way to get this plastic out without removing the whole seat, but it looks like it's binding up in here, so we're gonna have to pull this bar out. Then that should let us get this plastic out of here. As you guys already know, I'm an idiot. All I had to do is pull the seat up, which pulled that bar up. Voila. So here's what the cart looks like without all that plastic on it. As you can see, this exhaust is extremely loose. That's all broken off. And we got a ton of pads left on our brakes, and everything looks pretty good and built very strong. And another thing, they have these little plastic blocks here, and then those actually protect the belt. And we got another one on this side which protects this rotor. Thank God we had those, because we probably would have beat all this stuff off of rocks if those weren't there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the seat belt, get this out of here. That'll let me free up this whole bar, and I'm also gonna be removing all this plastic back here. I'm just gonna disconnect it at the frame and pull it off. Now I can start ripping out the plastic on this side, and I'll get the plastic off of that side as well. So I'm thinking this is supposed to be one nice and straight bolt. It's making like a nice little zigzag there. So we'll get it off and we'll find out if that's supposed to be straight. But I'm thinking that this thing was hit and it bent this bolt and pushed this whole thing back. It is awful close to this tire. So it's got these little metal washers on it, but I'm gonna say that that's not right. Now we can take off this front plastic and all this up here. All it took was 2 bolts, one there and one up in that corner, and that removed this whole thing. I was trying to get all of these suckers out. There's 8 of them because I do want to use this part on the build, but it seems like 2 of these guys are stripped out. And there's an Allen side on this side and then like a 10mm nut on this side. I wasn't going to mess around. Took the drill to that stud, cut it out. And now comes the moment I've been waiting for. I want to see exactly how much stuff is broken with these pedals. And I believe in order to get this plastic off here that's covering up the gas tank and all that, I'm gonna have to take off the steering wheel. I'm sure a true Sodikart mechanic would not have taken that plastic off that way, but that's the way I did it. And that plastic's pretty much junk to me anyways, so I wasn't too worried about damaging it. If we come down here into the pedals, we can see that it's completely missing a bolt right here, which is definitely not help. This whole thing can move. And then also, you got this plate on the bottom here, and that attaches to our little control lever. And I'm not entirely sure of how that works yet, but you can see how when these pedals move, that entire plate's wiggling. And you got some like holes and stuff that don't have any bolts in them. That could definitely be part of the problem. And if we come over on this side, this tube is all broken off. And then this bottom plate here is also broken off. So before we spend too much time working on this monstrosity here, I'm actually going to be moving over to this whole engine guard. This whole thing's going to be coming off. That'll give me better access to that engine and we can see what's going on around here. One thing I do need to mention is This little bracket here, this was to hold that plastic cover on, is actually broken off here. The little piece of it's still dangling on. Not an issue, we're not gonna be using that where we're going, and I'm probably gonna end up cutting these tabs off anyways. That was a lot harder than it should have been. You can see how bent that bolt is. Obviously got hit. So something that's pretty sweet with all these Sodikarts is they're actually using these little brackets, and it's just a square tubing, and they cut 2 little slits in it, and then they cut out this little hexagon in here, and then I guess they bend this out, put the nut in and bend it back, and it captures that nut, so this nut doesn't go anywhere, and it holds it right in place, and you're able to get your fastener in there, and when you're tightening it, it holds it in, everything's in place. So pretty neat design, really like that. So that's interesting. Didn't notice it until this thing just completely fell off, but this piece, which connects right there, is completely broken off. I don't know how I didn't notice that, but we'll get this little piece out, and that whole engine is nice and free. Holy cow, guys. I bet you this thing has gained at least 10 miles per hour top speed with all the weight we've taken off of it. This engine is completely clear. That's exactly what I want. It'll give me plenty of access in here, and I'll be able to see everything that's going on. Next thing we got to do is in the back. I already showed you this muffler, but it's completely broken off. So we're going to be just removing this entire thing. We're going to remove this pipe here, and that'll give us access to this bracket in particular. I'm going to be taking off this bracket, and this bracket. These brackets, all they do is hold on that plastic piece. It's a nice guard. We're not going to need that, so all that's going to be coming off. Now these bearings were being held in by that bracket. That bracket was kind of acting like a washer, so I just got a couple washers. We're going to be throwing those back in because I do plan on ripping this around a little bit more. Then we'll get these nuts back on, and then that way everything will be nice and secure, but we don't have that big old bracket hanging off. Got all those brackets out, got that exhaust piece out. Now we can actually see what in the world is going on back here. And I'm not entirely sure how we're gonna get this axle cut down because we are gonna have to narrow the tires up. So we'll have to play around with that, but that's another day. But now I'm gonna try to figure out exactly why this tire is flat. I might take it off, fill it up, spray it down with some soap and water, and try to see if we can see where it's leaking. If these guys came off no problem, but if we look at this guy here, it's round. That was a pain in the butt, but I gotta grab the 6-point socket. I hammered it on. Luckily it came off. So I'll be honest, that was actually really easy to find. You can see we got a nice slit in the tire there, and just for visuals, oh yeah, it's definitely leaking. I might actually try to pull this off and patch it just in the meantime while I get another tire ordered. That'll just let me run this thing a little bit. Alrighty guys, that's where we're leaving off for the day. We got the go-kart all tore apart. We got a big old pile of parts sitting over here. But as always, thank you guys for watching. And if you like these videos, hit that like and subscribe button.